And boom, we are live again, ladies and gentlemen.
What's
This
up?
is
What's
Parrish
up?
Patton. Hey, what's up? What's up? This is Parrish Patton with the Entrepreneur Kickback, and we're welcoming back Mr. Ivanlee Jackson, aka the AI Assassin. How you doing again, sir?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Happy to be here live this time.
Yeah. We going live. Go work on doing that a lot more here on the Entrepreneur Kickback. It makes things easier, and people have been requesting it. So, if you have a request, I can deliver. I sure will. Please forgive my camera, ladies and gentlemen. I got to buy a new one, so now I'm just using my phone. So, but I didn't want that to stop us from having this conversation because well, I think this could be very helpful for a lot of people because the number one question I constantly get is, how do I start a podcast? How do I start a podcast? Where do I start? What do I need to do? What can I use? And there are a lot of answers to that question. There are certain hardware you can buy, there's softwares you can buy. And now, as we spoke on our previous episode, you can actually exercise AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And it's like, I was already sold right there because for someone who's been doing this for a little while now, it can be a lot of heavy lifting, especially if you're the only person that's doing it right now, which I know a lot of people want to start. So I want to help give some direction on how to do it. So I want to welcome back Mr. Ivanlee Jackson, and he's a super nerd. Um, he's an expert in AI and GPTs, and he's been he's been doing a lot of work lately on how to use AI to do anything that you need to be done, from reading books to building to helping people trade. He has a trading GPT, and from what I'm learning from you, the possibilities are endless. So I want to dive deep in to let's build a show. And what would be your approach to that using AI technology?
Cool, cool. So, one of the things that I appreciate about you and how you teach others in terms of starting a podcast is that it's similar in terms of my approach, or similar to my approach in terms of teaching people how to get started in the online sales world, right? Whether it's selling a course, selling an e-commerce product, whatever it may be, right? And the similarity being that there's a path of least resistance. And oftentimes when people are first getting started, the unaware or the uninitiated needlessly complicate that initial path of least resistance, right? So for example, in the podcast world, that would be like saying, okay, I need the best camera, I need the best audio system, I need the best mixer platform, I need to master all of these different things before I put out episode one. And really, in reality, it kind of works in reverse, right? Like, take what you have, put out episode one, then improve upon that in episode two. And then, whether that's your equipment, your skills, your tool set, your approach to doing it. And it's the same thing in the online marketing world. Uh, so that said, let's break down what is the path of least resistance in terms of getting started into the podcast world. And then from there, I'll incorporate AI into that as much as we possibly can. So like if you were to tell me step one, right? Like what are the core basic things? So if I didn't have you, I would use AI to ask these questions, right? I would ask the questions. I would say, hey, AI, what are the core things I need to know to get started in the podcast world? But just even that, knowing to ask that question, that's a, you have to have a level of entrepreneurial savvy to know that, you need to eliminate the path to getting that business just started, right? And so yeah, you tell me what would be the core things we need to do to just get started.
Let's see. Core things I will say. There's multiple answers to that question. I say starting off, if you have a cell phone, you got a cell phone, that's enough to start. Utilizing your phone and platforms like StreamYard or Restream, these browser apps where you can record audio and video. And then you could get your MP3s and your MP4s, and then you can that's a start. That's a start. You get your MP3s, your MP4s, and with that, you will be able to formulate a show. I think we lost them, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a second.
Yeah, I'm here. My camera just unplugged for some reason.
Okay, okay, got you. But yeah, if bare minimum, you can start there. Now, however, if you want to make it a little bit more flexible for yourself and make it sound good too, I would recommend an audio recorder. There are a few I would recommend. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, my fancy
Cool.
camera just stopped working.
It's all good. We rocking and rolling.
We make it work.
Right. Um, Now next, I would say we get an audio recorder of some sort. Um, there's a few I recommend. I currently use the Zoom PodTrack P4. No, I can hook up 4 mics here, and I can connect it to my phone. Um, and then you're gonna need a decent mic. This mic I'm using right now is an Audio Technica ATR 2100. It's both USB and XLR, which I use the XLR to hook to the audio recorder. But if you also have a laptop, that'll work too. That could be in place of a phone too. And you could take this mic and also hook it to your laptop as well. I say with those few things, you can start. Now, if you have, let's say you have zero money, you don't have no money to invest. Having a laptop and a phone, you can get started. Your quality won't be the best, but you could build upon there from there.
So so that's the core equipment. But in terms of like core things that they would need to do next. So like to record your first podcast, right? Like there's a core, like come up with topics or come up with a topic. Um, Come up with some talking points within that topic. And so like when I think like getting started, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going to use AI. Well, all right. So let me kind of break down how I would go about using AI if I wanted to do my first podcast. I would first tell the AI that it's an expert podcast consultant. There's
Mm,
a concept I want everyone listening to understand in terms of like talking to your artificial intelligence is when you start a new chat, the first prompt that you give it is so important because that's like the foundational prompt. That's the prompt that's kind of telling it, what it is, what it's going to help you do, and then everything else kind of builds off of that. So getting that first prompt right matters a lot, especially if you want it to be helpful. Think like if you're talking to an employee and the first thing you say to this new employee is kind of like, this is your job role. This is what I want you to be good at. This is what I want you to focus on. This is how I want you to accomplish it. From then on, anytime else you speak to that employee, it's going to know that you're speaking to it in context of that primary prompt, that primary mission role. So I would prompt I would open up a new chat in Chat GPT, and I would say, "Hey, you are a podcast consultant. You are an expert podcaster. You've studied what works in podcasting based on your extensive knowledge, uh, and I want you to guide me through getting my first podcast set up." The AI is going to give me back like a list of things, like, okay, if you want to do a good podcast, you're going to want to make sure you have your equipment. You're going to want to make sure you have some ideas in terms of what your talking points are. You're going to want to break down those talking points into segments so you can kind of pre-plan your show or plan the flow of your show. So now I have a better idea of like what the strategy is, right? What I need to do to get started, a checklist of sorts. Then I could use the AI to further accomplish things off of that checklist. So, for example, if I'm not sure about what topic I want to speak about, I can say, "Hey, give me some suggestions for some topics." I could even make it more narrow. Like, "Hey, I'm into artificial intelligence and automation and helping people sell things online. So give me some suggestions for topics based around that," and then it'll give me a list of topics. Then once it gives me some topics I might want to touch on, I can say, "Hey, give me some titles for the podcast," or give me a list of like segments, or help me plan the podcast based around this topic. Help me plan out the talking points and the breaks and all that good stuff. I could even say, "Hey, give me the whole script." And it'll really write me a script from introduction. It can write me a script on each one of the talking points, or it can literally give me an entire script. Then you get into things where you could add an AI voice and literally have a whole automated podcast, or those automated YouTube uh, channels that people see, where there's just like a voice playing in the background with just some like video B-roll footage of B-roll playing, which is already happening right now. So there's there's a lot you could do with it. That's, I think, how I would go about doing it if I was just starting.
Okay. So pretty much you'll have your blueprint for your show.
Yeah,
Like you have AI do that.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I'd have it put together the blueprint. I'd have it put together, but not only the blueprint, the blueprint and the talking points. Help me segment that show, right? Because then from there it makes everything else easier. If I'm going to interview someone, I'm going to tell who I'm interviewing, and you know, hopefully, like, it gives me relevant questions. So yeah, that's how I would go about it.
See, I like that because it's like for someone who's brand new, that can help like give them confidence to move forward. You know,
Right.
because a lot of times it's that perfection. You know, that constant perfection. Like, oh, it's not good enough. I can't release it. It's not good enough. I can't release it. Now I'm guilty of this too. I did it for a whole year.
Yeah.
I recorded about 40 episodes of this show I created, and I never released it. I never released them.
We
But
all are, man. We all
yeah,
are. I did it for a long time, man. A long, long, long time. I've even just my own journey, man. Like I've helped make a lot of people a lot of money in this whole like online world, especially selling digital products. I've been behind like not billionaires, millionaires, uh, like multimillionaires, in terms of like helping them put themselves out. But for the longest time, I never really put myself out in terms of like that expertise, right? And clearly, there's an expertise there in terms of just um, being able to strategize and put together programs and just funnels and leverage technology to get your gifts, whatever they may be, in front of other people. And so it's like, the formula, but you always apply it for someone else, right? It's like you doing the podcast stuff, but imagine never really doing your own podcast, but you're helping everyone else with their podcast,
yeah.
and everyone else is blowing up. You got things to talk about too, clearly, but you just you're pouring into everyone else. And So yeah. Nah, I've let that, and that was like one of the main excuses, right? Was just well, I'm the guy that does this, so if I'm going to do it, I have to do it at this like super high level, or I'm not going to do it. And like helping people is helping people.
Hmm.
If you have a gift and sharing your gift, like that's just sharing your gift, whether it's with one, two, three, or four, or 200, 300, 400, 500 people. Either way, you're still sharing your gift. So like start with whatever you have and do whatever you can in terms of sharing that gift, and then let that kind of grow as it grows. Because either way, you're sharing your gift, and that's the most important part, is to just begin that process, begin that journey, and most importantly, do it with the path of least resistance. Because once you start like getting into that flow, once you start like tapping into your gift, sharing that gift, people like the way the world starts rewarding you for that is so crazy. And but you have to like start down that road first. It's like right with the podcast, right? Like you got to start down the podcasting road before you start seeing these little different rewards you get from going through that road. And you never know, like especially when you're following your gift and you're sharing that gift with other people, like it's just the world has a way in terms of like blessing you and giving you wind beneath your wings as you take off on that journey, right? It's almost like when you're going down the right path and it's the path the world wants you, or the universe wants you to go down. It's almost like it kind of blesses you and starts pushing you. The more you start, the more the more you go down that right path. So share your gift, man. Share your gift and make in path of least resistance.
Don't let that go over your head, y'all. Don't let that go over your head. Um, okay, you said something that's sticking with me right now.
Okay.
Now you said after you create the talking points for its episode, you can also add another AI to read that for you, and essentially you have a podcast where no one is talking.
Well, someone the AI is talking. Is
Yeah.
reading the script. Yeah, you can have two people. Literally, you can have two AI. Yeah. So if you ever go like on, I'm a like geopolitical buff nerd. I like to know what's going on in the world. So sometimes like I'll like research stuff like current events that's happening, and then you'll see a lot of YouTube channels doing this now, where like if you research an update on the Ukraine war, for example, it'll it's almost like a robotic voice kind of reading the current events of the day, and it's like just b-roll footage of whatever, and that's all AI, right? It's basically an AI script that's like 10 minutes long. It's an AI voice reading the script, and then there's an AI video generation that's generating the video based off of b-roll footage based off of what that AI script is talking about. And then some of these YouTube channels got hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're monetizing it, and it's literally just AI from start to finish.
Interesting. So I know it's a lot of AI platforms out there. So like, what or is it a GPT? What's the proper term to classify AI?
I mean, there's a lot of platforms. There's a lot of platforms. So like, and then within each platform, they call it different things. So for example, uh, Open AI created Chat GPT, and then Chat GPT created a thing called custom GPTs, which is basically allows individual developers and people to create their own pre-programmed versions of chat gpts. So instead of just regular chat gpt where you kind of just talk to it and it's kind of a generalistic conversation, you can pre-program it to be an expert podcast consultant, for example. So when you first start a conversation with it, it's going to say, hey, my name is whatever I program its name to be. I'm your AI podcast consultant. My job is to give you expert podcast advice and da 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 da. Do you have any podcasting questions, or do you have a podcast you want to get started on? Let's go. Right. So it already knows what to do instead of having to like pre-tell it. Um, Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so within Chat GPT, you can create a specialized GPT. So when I hear that, it kind of makes me think of white labeling. You may have a manufacturer that has a product, and you can go to that manufacturer, buy that product, slap your label on it, and then you could put it out to the market. Or better yet, a better example is you go to that manufacturer and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this type of product. Can you make it for me?" Manufacturer says, "Yeah." Put your label on it and then put it out there. I'm breaking that down correctly.
Yeah, kind of. But white label is more so taking someone's or taking that product and yeah, just kind of swapping your label on it and then reselling that product. Custom GPT, think more like the App Store on an iPhone, right? So Chat GPT, they give you the AI, right? And then from there, it's up to individual developers and creators to create their own custom things that you can do with it. And that's where the possibilities become kind of infinite. Meaning that's where I go and create a trading AI, for example, right? That an AI that's already pre-programmed to trade, analyze trades based on certain parameters. Or someone else might go make a podcasting AI, and then someone else might make another podcasting consulting AI, but that one just works a little bit better, or is more intuitive, or it's more conversational, because based on how you programmed it and prompted it. So not they're giving you the foundational product to work off of, to build off of, but from there you're kind of adding your own touches, your own sauce.
That's powerful. So when you say it that way, it could be almost anything.
Yeah, yeah, you can build. Yeah, and that's where that's where the excitement really be popping in, because it's like you literally only limited based on your imagination. I made an AI the other day. I was doing a mastermind class, and like during that class I basically I just wanted to show how quick you can make an AI. So I did a what would Tupac say, or what would Tupac do AI. And I basically trained it to give you advice and conversation from the mindset of Tupac. And so then it went, looked on the internet, found writings and songs, and it's vast database of what it knows about Tupac, and then it does its best to communicate to me like in terms of like Tupac. I did a George Clinton from P Funk version. And then I
Mm.
and then I had him like break down like the science behind nuclear fission. And so he's like, "Yeah, man, it's so out of sight. The atoms, the protons and the neutrons, they form this groovy, like you get what I mean? Like it so you can again imagination, like where one's imagination can go with it's like it's crazy. It's again, I would think like an iPhone app store. You have this phone, you have this computer, you have like all this ability and things that you can do within an app, and you got so many different apps, right? From productivity, from health, from finance, from things that make your phone work a little bit better, right? Things that improve like original apps on your phone, like so example like better cameras, better keyboards. It, it's it's with AI, it's just the possibilities just open up even more, and that's the exciting part.
See, you really got my wheels turning now because there are shows. Well, there are shows I create where I don't talk. Shouts out to the Bullish Picks podcast and Career Fireside. I don't talk on those shows, and I want to create more shows where I don't talk. I just want to create. I just want to create them.
Yeah.
And let them go based off whatever the topic is, whatever the case may be. And I've had ideas on having shows, but when you say that, it's like, dang, can I get a show where I have an AI narrator talking about a particular topic, like the importance of sleep and the practices of what to do to get the best sleep possible. Topics of such as that nature. That's just an example, but I got a book written up full of them, and it's like I know I can't execute on all of them, but now that you say this tool is available, and it's like I could probably execute on quite a few of them now because it's a lot of information that people are searching for, and it could be more content towards it. And
Yeah.
and if you, I got some homework to do. I signed up for your masterclass. I did. I'm in the portal, so I'm gonna check it out. But
Nice, nice.
it's really got me thinking. Like, dang, what can I really do? Like, can I build an app off of it? Can I
Yeah.
can I make a video game off of it?
Yes.
Sh-
Right
Uh,
now, like right now, you can literally. I know of one where you can describe the video game and it makes the video go right there. I know one where you can draw a website or what you would want to see on a website, upload that picture to the AI. The AI will then make the website based on that drawing. Again,
hmm,
possibilities are you literally only limited by your creativity. Because if it's not built, you can build it yourself, right? And then the thing with AI is you're speaking natural language. You don't even have to be a programmer to build it. It's just being able to, prompt it and properly tell it what you want it to do.
hmm. You gonna have me up all night, Ivanlee. You gonna have me up all night. Shoot.
So by the morning, you have whatever project you're working on, it'll be finished. Be finished. You have the marketing material, the promotional material, the funnel will be done, everything will be done. You have
Man.
a whole season. You have a whole season done.
So so with using AI, like, and let's stay in the podcasting subject,
Mhm.
or so we can format we can get the show written down blueprint from topic points to what the show is about. We can even have scripts written down for those particular topics, and we can have someone read those particular topics. We can have an AI read those topics. And additionally, you just said, hey, you said you can draw too, so they can create the logo and the cover art and thumbnails and everything along with that as well.
Yes.
So it's like, dang, I'm working hard here. I'm working a lot hard. I'm working very hard. I need to switch it up. I need to switch it
Yeah,
up.
man.
Oh, that's mind blowing.
Nah,
That is
100%, man. Like, I, that's why I want people to understand, man. Like, this is available right now for everyone, for all of us. We all have access to this. We all have access to this right now, and you don't have to be a programmer. You can literally just all these different AIs. That's the magic behind it. Is you just speak English. You can create the video I told you about. So, like, let's say we wanted to do a YouTube video. Obviously, we all know we can generate the script using AI, ChatGPT, right? There's voice ones that literally you just give it a script and there'll be a voice that just kind of reads the script for you. So voice is easy, but there's also video ones, literally. And if you have the script, just copy and paste the script. The video AI is going to make background video based on what's being read off the script. So all you really had to do was create the script, and then from there you feed that same script into the audio to generate the voiceover, then feed it to the video thing to create the video, and voila, you're done. Use the image generator to create a nice little caption. Use an SEO one to put your SEO, your and then write a caption, cover image, and you're done. Right, like literally start to finish, um, using AI.
and you could do all this within Chat GPT.
No, not the video one. That would be a different AI, but you would start in ChatGPT because the key ingredient is the script, right? So once you have the script, now the voiceover is done because it just reads off the script, right? And then the video is done because all you got to do is paste that into the video generator, and the video is going to generate background video based on what's being said in the script. So by coming up with a script in Chat GPT, you've pretty much done the backbone of all the work, because now you just take that script, you have the script, you take it, you get your audio, your voiceover, then you get your video, and done. You have a full video.
Mm. So, dang. So with man, this is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be up all night. I'm go down this rabbit hole here, cause now the things that was holding me back for creating certain things, because you got to take time to learn it and then execute.
Yeah,
So it's like now we have a tool that can do it for us. We just have to learn how to talk to the tool.
just have to learn how to talk to the tool, and it's not that hard to talk to the tool.
Hmm. So so are there any outside of Chat GPT? Are there any recommendations for like different AI platforms that you
Um,
don't normally hear about?
nah, man. I mean, there's a few, like, but it just, if you're the reason Chat GPT is so great is that it's accessible in terms of being able to, and it's such a good base in terms of where to start, especially if you're brand new to AI. If you're there's things like Stable Diffusion, which is a very powerful way of creating images, right? So Chat GPT has their image generator called Dolly, but it's integrated with Chat GPT. It's much more simpler to use because you kind of use it just like Chat GPT. Whereas Stable Diffusion, you could do some amazing next level things with it, such as soon as you start typing a black cat, it's going to start creating the image right there. Then you can say something like a black cat who's wearing a pink hat is going to start, as you type, it creates the image in real time. And that's next level. That's like next level image generation. But the thing with next level is that when you're using things that has that many options, is that much more confusing, right? Like that much power comes at a cost. And so before you start, if you're brand new to the world of AI, before you start trying to, mess with like something like Stable Diffusion or something that's like just, next level, start with the basics first, just so you can understand what it is and what you can do with it. Because even with the basics, you can do so much. It's going to blow your mind. From there, then you'll naturally start looking down the road and start seeing things that are, a bit more capable, a bit more powerful.
Okay.
So for like image generation, anyone listening, I would recommend. And there's a free app, iPhone app called Ideogram, or you can also go on the website Ideogram, IDEO gram, and it's the one of the best image generating AIs, and it's free. But in terms of like generating like images, it's also particularly good in terms of mixing in letters. So a lot of like art generators or image generators, they're not good with mixing in letters, words into the art, but Ideogram is. So start there, right? And then, once you kind of see what you can do with that, which again, you can literally can create any image your mind can think of, then you might want to look at like Stable Diffusion or Mid Journey or some of these more advanced image generators. But they're also, a lot harder to use.
Okay. It gotta is you have to have better prompting skills.
Yeah. You got it. They're definitely harder to use, right? Because there's more
Okay.
options. There's more options, right? So, for example, with 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 a basic image generator, you basically just tell it what you want, right? And it'll figure it out from there. With the more complicated ones, you have more options, but when you're creating an image, there's more options, right? So you also have an artistic understanding of what those options do. Meaning, I'm trying to think of words. Like I'm not really a artistic person, but like the hue, the color hue, or the shading, or you get what I'm saying? Like I don't even know what these
Yeah.
words mean. The tint, the exposure, the lighting exposure, right? Like all these different options matter. And if you're someone who really understands what those options means, oh, you can get a lot more out of it. But if you're someone like me who just wants to go make a cool image of a Black Panther to be able to put on my website where I'm promoting Panther I just need the basics, right? All those options would confuse me and would mess me up. I don't know if I want the hue to be plus or minus 15. I don't know. Figure it out for me.
Right.
So that you know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I get it. And it's like, it's still, when you say that, it's overwhelming. But it's something you
Yeah,
just it's something you just said that triggered something, because like in this current climate, everybody is like, AI is going to take over. AI
hmm,
is going to take over. However, if you look at it this way, if you pour your skills and ability into the AI, I think that's the true power in it. And also that kind of it kind of still justifies having humans learn skills to teach the AI, because someone got to program it. So
yeah,
for example, you're not an art person, so you can't break down hues and paint strokes
right,
and vectors and stuff like that. But if you had someone who could, they can communicate better with the AI because they have a skill set within that
right.
particular wheelhouse that they're trying to do. So it's like, oh, there go my son, y'all. He he trying to bust in. He want to be a part of the show. And he
Meanwhile,
has been. He has been in the past. he
meanwhile,
he he busted in on me and Dasu. Uh, but no, this is enlightening. And now that you say we're starting a show, now we can also exercise AI on growing a show. Excuse me, I'm
right.
sorry.
All good.
Sorry about that. I got a phone call. But you could use it to grow a show. So like, what would be your examples on like growing a show using AI?
Oh man, so well, obviously marketing. You know, anytime, whenever it's content, right? You want to get that content out there. You want people to see the content, hear the content. So using AI to help you accomplish that mission would be one of my first things I would think of.
Right?
Uh, editing the show, putting together, you know, newsletters off the show. Uh, what's the word? What's that thing? Like scripts, or not the script, but the a written recap of the show, the website, creating social media content, all that.
Okay. So that's everything.
Yeah, you know, the funnel. You know, when I think show, I also think funnel. Like for me, I'm you know, I'm in the funnel. So for me, it would be you know, just building out the funnel, you know, the show, but then what else goes into that funnel, right? What else do we give people who appreciate that show, who want more based on different topics, building out the larger ecosystem. You know, you can literally use AI to write books, write ebooks, right? Whatever the case, you know, so like putting together an ebook for you, like your example, let's say you did a show on, you know, getting started as a podcaster, then you put together like an ebook. Hey, you want more information? Put this free ebook out. You know, just go here and you can get your free ebook. And then they put their email address, their phone number in to get this free resource. They win, you win. Now you have this lead that you can reach out to anytime you do anything. Let's say you happen to be speaking about ebooks on somebody else's podcast. You can send out an email blast to everyone who registered for your free ebook, because you already know that they're interested in learning how to become a podcaster. That also helps give you monetization options, right? In case, like, let's say you put out a course on how to do podcasts. Well, now you already have a list of all these people who signed up for your free ebook on podcasting. So now you basically have a list of people you can market this course to, people who you already know are interested in the business of creating a podcast. So, you know, for me, like when I think AI is like, creating the bigger ecosystem around what it is I'm passionate about doing. Right. So for me, I'm passionate about teaching people this stuff. I'm passionate about exploring AI myself and using AI to empower my entrepreneurship, but also putting my people on to how to use AI and automation to empower their entrepreneurship. So for me, I then use AI to build the bigger. I do what I love to do, regardless, for free, like I'm here doing now. I give the game away for free, and then I build out this bigger ecosystem.
Oh,
And you're like
oh,
sideways right
oh, hold on. Yeah, hold on. I apologize, everybody.
now. Nah, you good, man.
Technical difficulties.
But
Okay.
yeah, man. So for me, it's all about building out that bigger ecosystem, and then leveraging AI to efficiently do so. Because when you start thinking ecosystem, that's a lot of work, right? Like, it's like, all right, it's like, think somebody who loves playing video games, and my first thing I would tell them if they want to monetize their passion is like, record yourself playing video games, right? Record yourself playing the game that you love. Put it on YouTube. Maybe start streaming, et cetera, et cetera. But then all that other stuff outside of it becomes work, right? Like he might not want to build a website or build a YouTube channel or come up with captions and do SEO and all that stuff, right? So that's where you leverage AI to be able to do all that as painlessly as possible, so that you can spend more time doing what it is you love to do, which is recording yourself playing your video games.
That's amazing. Let's see. I do got to do a hard pivot. I realize I overbooked myself.
All good.
Um, yeah, so I want to land the plane here. However, I think we should talk more about this. I think we should do demonstrations.
100%. Can we do that on here? Can I do like a screen share?
Yeah, yeah, we can do that on here.
Oh, that's our next. That's the next one. That's the next
That's the
one.
next.
We can show them
That's
better than we can tell them.
There we go. Let's do that. Um, um, how can people get in touch with you if they want to reach out?
Uh, the easiest way would be to follow me on Instagram at Ivanlee Jackson, Ivanlee Jackson. I'm doing a free mastermind. It's been going on for over 2 weeks now. Well, going on 2 weeks now, and it's a lot of free lessons, strategy, AI resources packed within there. So like everything we've talked about today in terms of how to program your own custom GPTs, access to some of the custom GPTs that I've programmed. It's all available within that mastermind. To get there, just visit me on Instagram, and then the link within my bio will take you to that free page. My Instagram again is Ivanlee Jackson, so Ivanlee Jackson. And yeah, man.
And we'll leave that information in the show notes. Um, this is the Entrepreneur Kickback with Mr. Ivanlee Jackson. I'm gonna hit you on the back end. Soon as I'm done, soon as I'm done with my meeting, and we could talk more about the next episode. But I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and like, share, subscribe, use telepathy, send links,
Send love,
whatever you.
man. Just show love, send love, spread love.
Yep. And we are out.
Peace.
Yep.